All right, welcome back. We are live. Today I'm going to be talking about how to break bad habits and how to make good ones out of that, any combination of that. You might be frustrated with finding yourself wasting time or finding that you don't have enough time to do things that you really want, or you're just off track in general, anything like that, or you get stuck casually implementing plans and they don't quite get you where you're going. So what I want to cover in this video, 5 habits, 5 steps that you can take, 5 little tips so you can get on track towards your goal and own your path to freedom and fitness. So welcome back. I'm Reggie Wilson, the founder of Fit for Freelance, where I build adaptive business leaders through compassion to health coaching. Coming to you live every Monday, 8:30 on YouTube and Facebook, and then repost it on the internet. So if you like what I'm seeing, like what I'm saying, then hit that like button, share it, subscribe, all that, because that's how we spread the word and build more adaptive business leaders. All right, so today I'm talking about changing habits. And that's really kind of the fundamental of being an adaptive business leader, where we're actually combining confidence, realistic focus, and accountability, right? So you have to recognize the habit and then know when it's time to change. Let's go through some of the steps here. The first one I have listed is investigate and troubleshoot, right? So if something doesn't go right, say you had a really terrible day on your diet, or you skipped exercise for the second day in a row, or I don't know, you didn't drink enough water, or you started yelling at someone, right? There's lots of examples of things that go wrong. You want to investigate and troubleshoot that. Get specific about what caused it, and know your ABCs is the next step. So something that's unique about the guilt-free game plan, the guilt-free framework, is that we're using something called positive behavior support, which is kind of similar to applied behavior analysis. That way we can break down the habits and behaviors. It's kind of, you don't hear a lot about this in the health coaching space, the fitness and wellness, for entrepreneurship, any of that. But the ABCs, antecedents, behaviors, and consequences. So when you know kind of the environment or what kind of reward that you got from doing something, that's going to help you break something out. So if you have a habit that's always causing you to feel stuck, or like you're running out of time, or you can't make the change that you want, know what causes it, right? And so it's not just about saying something like, oh, that just shouldn't happen, or I was on a call today, someone was like, yeah, that there's no excuse kind of thing, right? And that's fine. But the problem with that is that sometimes there are reasons, right, where maybe it's not an excuse, but if you aren't very clear on the environment or the situation that caused that, then you're not going to know how to correct that if that situation presents itself again. So you're going to be likely to make the same mistakes. So if that makes sense, give me a like or let me know. Because it happens a lot where people are like, I shouldn't have done that. And then they just kind of feel bad about it, or they might feel guilt or shame, or it's like, I can't believe I let that happen. Right. You know that. So knowing the environment, knowing your ABCs is something that'll really switch it up for you. I have a little comment prompt here. What's one habit that you're ready to change? So as we're going through this, I want you to think through something that, you know, you've been really trying to change. You feel like you've been ineffective at implementing. You get stuck, and you might need some help or some coaching, or this video that should get you to your next level there. So leave that as a comment wherever you're watching this. I'd really appreciate that. All right. So the next step, we have investigate and troubleshoot. Then we have know your ABCs. And then next, when you're troubleshooting, after that, you look through and notice what caused it. And then you set a new plan, right? And your new choice is like a replacement behavior where you're going to do something differently when you're in that environment. So an example, maybe if you tend to skip your morning workouts, if you make it really, this is like my favorite example for this, you put like your socks and shoes and clothes out ready to go. So that's one way you can change the environment, right? So we do this in the guilt-free game plan, where we go through, we troubleshoot those issues that kept you from reaching your goals. And then we go through it step by step like this. And then the next one, kind of at the end of the call, I like to ask, what questions do you have? So maybe something's not clear about what you want to try next, or what you're going to replace that behavior with, or make a new habit or new choice. in that situation. So you want to be clear on the process that you have there. Then the next one I have is, do you want to change these things? Do you want to do these replacement behaviors, right? So if you don't want to do these things, this happens a lot if you're stuck casually implementing, right? Let me know if this is you, where you think, oh, I should make that change, right? I should start going to spin class. I should, maybe start lifting weights, but you don't really want to do it. Or something that comes up sometimes, people come up with like these really interesting recipes for like sugar-free, like Jello snack pudding. It's like disgusting sounding, and they can't like stick to it because they're like, this is awful. Why would you do that? So knowing if you want to even do that is going to factor into if you can implement that change when it counts. Does that make sense? Right? So do you want to change these things? And sometimes it's perfectly fine just to like not want to exercise, right? You do have to be aware of how that fits into your goals and your long term, but overall, you don't have to do anything, right? You don't have to want to change anything. You don't have to want to lead a healthier lifestyle. You don't even have to want to strive for your goals at all. So what happens, that dissonance comes from when you feel like you should be doing something. You'll start to feel guilty or like ashamed of that. And that's something we're really trying to take out with the guilt-free game plan, where like, hey, if you don't want to do that thing, then don't. Let's find something that you want to do, or something that's reasonable. Maybe it's a smaller increment, or it's a different schedule, or something like that. And then also, well, that's what I was talking about. Do you want to change it? And do you want to do these specific replacement behaviors? So that's something I'm really proud of with the guilt-free game plan, and it's super effective for our clients. And then the 5 is, what obstacles do you see, right? So this is when there's so many ways to describe this. Obstacles can be something like maybe you have a trip coming up, or maybe a storm's coming to the area and you might not be able to get your outdoor run or bike ride in, kind of thing. Or it can be something with your mindset, right? You might feel like this is too challenging. So we have these opportunities in the call, and when we're setting up this accountability, so you recognize and you can like use foresight to see what's coming up. On the call today with the obstacles, do you see? Someone's like, well, it sounds like I have a lot of different things happening this week, so I hope I don't run out of time. And that's the perfect cue to ask, so would you like to schedule a time to get these things done, right? If you have a busy week or a lot of things coming up, then you want to schedule that. And so all these things are going to factor into creating better habits, so you can take ownership and own your path to freedom and fitness, right? So one of the top things that people get stuck casually implementing is they don't feel like they have enough time. So social media is a really big way that people spend a lot of time. If you have your phone close by, you can open up your Facebook app. Maybe after this, right? If you're watching this live on your phone, hit that menu button, go down to settings and privacy, your time on Facebook, and then see your time. You can see how much time you're spending per day on Facebook. And then I have a blog post I've written on that. People are spending about an average of 38 minutes a day. And that's more than a recommended 22 minutes a day of exercise. So that's just one quick habit that can get you more time, and the process of that habit, right? So a lot of times if you're on your phone, you haven't considered it. It's like you just pick it up. Maybe you're bored. Maybe you're not doing anything. Maybe you're waiting in line or something, right? So it's like a habit. And the process to breaking that habit or changing it, replacing it with something else, is the same way you can change any of your other habits. So if you want to know exactly the step-by-step process on how to do that, I've got this free guide, Stop Wasting Time on Facebook. Fitforfreelance.com/Facebook is the URL for that. And so that's for people who want to have more time for what's important. And I'll put that in the comments below. It's in the description on YouTube. And I think this is a really good guide to break it down step by step, so you know exactly what to do to go from stuck casual implementer to adaptive business leader. So that's it. That's my quick tips, my 5 tips for breaking bad habits and starting better ones, so you can be on your path to freedom and fitness. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and it's referrals week. So please be sure, if you're enjoying my content, please tell a friend about Fit for Freelance. Send them to the website, link this video, or if you know someone who has really bad habits or says they have bad habits or they don't have enough time, send them a link to this video. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Keep practicing.